There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com to find a store near you.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Talking Shop. I'm Jen King, coming right to you from my shop, Space Cadets Collection, and here on the Experience exclusively, where we every single week get together with top talent in the industry that are working on comic books that are headed to your local comic shop. We do this so that you have a heads up so you can add it to your pull box, or to call them up and make sure that they've got it on a wish list, or just so you can tell them and give them a heads up that you think that a book is really, really cool and that they should make sure to have enough copies on New Comic Book Day. We're going to start out with something really cool. I've wanted to talk to this person for a long time. Please welcome Marco Fontanili.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Jen.
From the other side of the world.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's dark outside here, so yeah.
What time of the day?
11 p.m.
11 p.m. Oh, goodness. Yeah. Are you a night owl?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you do a lot of art. So are you a kind of person that works late into the night? Are you a morning person? Or you just do it throughout the day? What's best for you?
Throughout the day, basically, I don't have a routine, basically. So I just wake up, I start work, and then I stop until I go to bed. So all the day.
It's clear that's why you've been successful, because you've got a great many books out there.
Well, successful, I don't know, but thank you. I try.
I have a total of no books out this week, and you've got some titles that are in the queue that are coming out, lots of them. So let's talk about one of them. Let's talk about Kingjira, because I've been seeing images of this pop around the internet for a while, and being a person who loves kaiju like crazy, is or kaiju in general something that you've always been a fan of?
Yeah, I love monsters and horror stuff and all these kind of things. So it was, I don't know, something natural for me. So
do you have a favorite monster flick?
Yeah, but one thing I want to say is that Kingjira, it's his birthday, like today or yesterday. I did it 1 year ago.
Oh,
I did the first version. So it
just
is
the idea of it, or
I started working on it.
Mm-hmm.
I did the first version was a self-published book in black and white. So can I show it?
Yes, absolutely.
This was the first version. He also has another name.
It's so beautiful. The detail in your work is so incredible.
Thanks. Thank you.
So, okay, so a piece like that, a full on, like one big splash page, how long does that typically take you?
1 day, more or less, of full work.
And do you work practically? You work with pens and inks and things?
Kingjira, yeah. It's all traditional.
Do you do some things in digital for other projects?
Yeah, I'm doing, Pentagram of Horror. It is all in digital. And, some other stuff. It depends on what I want to, to communicate with a project or with the art. It depends. I don't have a routine in this case also.
Okay, for digital, for our fans that are watching right now, do you have any good advice for what kind of devices and programs?
I use Photoshop. It's my main program, and I use a Huion tablet.
Yeah.
I don't know the specific, but I bought it.
So it
one
came
year
with the
ago.
program that's in it.
No, I work on Photoshop since, I don't know,
Photoshop. Okay.
probably the school time. So it's been 10 years.
Yeah, it kind of feels like if it's not broke, why try something different? Because that's been a tried and true.
Yeah, but Photoshop is really, I don't know, it's really big. It has a lot of tools, a lot of stuff, and every day is a new day,
Do you still find ways to use Photoshop that are unique when you try new projects?
I try. It depends on the project. I don't have. I don't. Yeah, as I said before, it depends on the project. That's all I can say.
Okay, so when you do practical art, are you a pen artist, a brush artist?
Pen. I use this kind of pen.
Oh, those are
It's
nice.
Uniball I micro. I don't know if you can read it.
Yeah,
Okay,
I always like to
all.
ask because I think everyone kind of has their favorite. They've kind of like figured out that they like, reloadable brush pens,
Yeah, I tried a lot of
Sharpies.
stuff. Yeah, I tried a lot of stuff, brushes, nibs, pens, and I also use, razor blades to ink.
How?
With
I want
black
to see some razor blade inking examples.
with I did this piece. It's for Andrea,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, this is brush,
Yep.
and I did the teeth with the razor blade.
So you use something sharp to make something sharp.
Yep,
That's
yep.
awesome. I can remember the first time I saw someone use, and it just seems so simple, like toothbrush and like white ink to create effects. It's just like it was in the
Yeah, I
90s
use
when I
that
was
too.
brand new. I was like,
I
what?
use that too. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Oh, and you do all of your own coloring as well?
Yep, I do everything by myself.
Do you
Writing,
lean
pencils, ink, colors, everything.
do you lean toward those neon colors that we see on the cover for Gojira
Yeah,
or Kingjira, sorry.
initially it was Andrea gave me the idea to color the project,
Mhm.
and I don't know. I was trying to find something unique because I think colors are storytelling. So I
Mhm.
don't like to use them in the classical way. And so I tried that way, and I think it works. So I'm happy. I'm really happy with it. So yeah,
I think I think those colors work really well for when you're like, especially this, where you've got a kind of a kaiju creature, but that doesn't look super serious.
yeah.
Like it's not supposed to be like a bloody tail, I'm guessing, since there's so much pizza on the front cover. So speak to that. Why pizza? What's going on in this book?
Because I'm Italian, so it was natural for me.
That's all we need to know. Because
No, I
Italian.
don't know. I don't know. I started working on it. I remember I haven't any plans, or I just did it.
Mhm.
No script, no storyboards, nothing. I did.
Oh, so you're making editors crazy right now by everything you're saying.
No, not because Kingjira was already finished when I sent it to Scout, so no changes, nothing. But I'm doing the same with Pentagram of Horror. But I think Andrea and the other guys I think they're happy. So I continue in this way.
It is funny. I talk to people a lot about writing, and they're
Yeah,
like, you have to be very purposeful. You have to write out a full, outline and have motivations for all your characters laid out, and you have to know what the end game is. And I'm like, well, man, if they only knew how I wrote, I know where I'm kind of going. Like I know what the end game is, but
yeah,
the
yeah,
characters kind of write themselves, right?
yeah. I do basically the same.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's
Do you ever
always
get to
worth it.
do you ever get to a point and you're like, going, nope, this book's going to be different?
Yeah.
because it's taking you somewhere else.
But they're happy, so I'm happy.
Okay, so this is coming out as a one shot. Do you have any
Yep.
plans to do other Kingjira books?
I would love to. I have tons of ideas, and I would love to put, a sort of a Power Ranger in a hypothetical next story with Kingjira. I have
Yeah.
tons of ideas. I want to do a lot of stuff with the character because I love it. So I try to I don't know, to push it the more I can.
Oh, absolutely. Right. So, what is the basic storyline for the book?
Okay, so basically, Kingjira is this giant monster, and he wants some pizza. So because of that, he destroys the city, and then the army tries to stop him. I don't want to say the rest.
I love Fabio says Kinjira loves lasagnas too.
Yeah, he's also Italian, Kingjira. So
Yes, I love it. So do we ever get an origin for Kingjira?
I don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
He just has always existed.
Yeah, why not?
I would be angry if I couldn't get pizza too. So I identify.
Yeah, me
with that.
too. Me too.
It's so funny. Half my family teases me because I call pizza pie. So I'm like, I'm gonna go get
Okay.
a pie, and they're like, "What? That's not right." I'm like, "Oh, I beg to differ." We'll settle this debate forever. Is pizza pie?
It's a good question,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do you guys
Probably,
call it
yeah.
pizza pie there?
Probably, yeah. I have to ask to my mother.
Oh, mom is the final word on everything.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
says we're gonna have to go with that for all time. I will accept whatever she says.
She's the one who prepares the pizza, so I have to ask her. So,
So does she make homemade at home?
yep,
Grow up with that?
yep.
So what kind of crust is her specialty? Is it like thin or kind of like middle ground?
Mm, you know, it's middle brown, I think.
Yeah.
No, classic.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to explain to people. Like some people call it like New York style or what I call folding pie. When you take a
Okay,
big enough swedge and you
okay,
fold it in half.
okay, okay,
That's
okay.
my kind of pizza right there. Because it
And
is not
then
messy.
you split it in half. So I don't know how to explain it, but you do that after the cooking or before the cooking?
So after the cooking is done, when it cools off a little
Okay.
bit, you pull off your
Ah,
giant
okay.
slice of pizza,
Okay.
and then you
Okay.
take the two ends and you fold it
Okay.
so that you still have the long pointy part, and then you just eat it, but it's not messy because nothing can fall off except for into your mouth.
Ah, okay. Okay. Right. Seems right.
And I've never eaten pizza with a fork, so
Never. Me too.
I feel I must be a monster. Okay, so what other projects do you have coming out that you can talk about, what you're allowed to talk about?
Okay. I'm working on the last issue of Pentagram of Horror. The first issue will be out next month for Black Caravan.
Yep.
And I did 5 issues right now. And after that, I don't know. I'm writing stuff. I have a project called Undead Space Night, and I'm working on that too.
Okay, and
So
the image that I saw of the Undead Space Knight, it has like at the bottom of the page, it also has Planet of the Vampires. Is that a
yeah,
combined project?
no, it's just the title of the first issue.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
I think I will do the first issue will be a sort of a self-contained story, and then I start with the second issue to tell the story basically.
All right. So give me the pitch for Undead Space Knight. I'm super obsessed with the cover.
Okay. And Dead Space Knight is a sort of a god, I think he is. A sort of a superhero who saves lives into the space. He hears, praise and just he comes.
So he'll go anywhere.
Yeah,
to be a champion of any world. He's not
Basically,
only
yes, but
protecting one.
there will be more. I don't want to spoil anything.
It's always hard, right? Like, how much can I
Yep.
say?
Yeah,
Well, you might be giving something away with Planet of the Vampires as a subtitle.
yeah. The first issue, you know.
All right, and then there's a bunch of other ones I saw in your feed that were interesting to me. Pentagram of Horror, is that coming up with Black Caravan?
But yes, yeah. The first issue will be out in March, I think. The first half of March.
Oh wow! So we don't have much longer to wait for that one.
Okay, thanks.
That's close. Is that one also a single shot or is that a series?
It's an anthology miniseries. So every issue will be self-contained too. So they're all strong horror stuff. You know, Hellraiser or the movie Martyrs. It's pretty hardcore stuff.
All right, there's a lot of horror fans out there right now. Kind of noticed that at our shop that, especially the Black Caravan stuff at Scout has gotten a lot of great reception. Like they can't wait to have the next thing. So I think you've got the right house for that to be released through.
Yeah, I'm so happy to work with them. I always search the home for my stuff, and then I found Scout and Black Caravan, and I'm really happy now. Really, really happy with working
Spunky will
with them.
take care of you. They're good people.
Yeah.
All right, now I need to know about this one, Cursed Tree in the Living Cemetery.
Okay, that's another of my project. It's called Tales from the Grave. It's another anthology. I self-published the first season a couple of years ago, I think, and they're all mini stories, highly influenced by the classic Tales from the Crypt or things like that.
Yeah.
All the stories are wordless, and they have that kind of vintage flavor.
Is it done as an anthology where a lot of different people put stories into it, or is it all individual stories from you? Okay.
Yep. Can I show stuff?
Absolutely, always.
Thanks.
We love show and tell here.
That's the first volume I did a couple of years ago.
And you self-published. I love the format that you've done, the giant format.
Yep, it's a magazine size basically.
Look how thick that thing is. Oh my word. And did you publish that through your press house?
What? Sorry?
Did you publish that as part of your own
studio? Yeah. I also did this the 1 year ago. It's a really short story I gave with Kingjira, with the self-published edition of Kingjira.
Do you know if any of those are available if people are trying to hunt them down in the States?
Yeah, I have. Okay, in the States, I have no idea. I think.
But do you have a website that they can find them?
I think I sent a couple of issues, some months ago, to a store in Philadelphia, I think.
Oh, okay.
But I have no idea if they still have them or. I have a Etsy store. That's all.
So they have one that you have a website that people can come and order them from directly.
Yep. Directly to me. Yep.
You want to tell us what it is, and we'll put it in the chat so that people can follow the link.
I can send you the link directly if you want.
Oh, perfect. All right, and Sean has a question now. It says, do you ever incorporate your life experiences into your writing, or has it ever influenced a story? That's a great question.
Except for Kingjira, yeah, always.
A giant monster, really?
Unfortunately, I'm not a giant monster, no.
But from your comment, we now know that you are also an undead space knight.
Yeah. It's,
It's out of the bag. You're an international.
Life is not good with me, I'm not a knight or a monster, unfortunately. So. But the first issue and also the second one are really influenced by my life.
Mhm.
Um, for example, the first issue of Pentagram of Horror tells the story of an artist who sells his souls to the devil
Mhm.
for the talent. He wants the talent, but I don't want to spoil anything. Yeah,
Oh, I mean, it's always a cautionary tale, right? Selling your soul to the devil doesn't really ever in any book turn out real great,
yeah,
except for Lady Death or Spawn. Then it's
yeah.
good.
Right, right, right.
All right, and then the other thing I saw that I was also intrigued with was that shape inside of me.
Okay, that's a Batman story. I did it just for fun. It's on my Instagram page on Facebook.
Is the other image that's up there with kind of like it's mostly white and then it has like a very like simple object in the middle in black? Is that related to that also?
Yeah, probably. I don't remember that specific image. I
I
don't
feel
know.
like it's the post right before I saw that book title. I was like, ooh, what was this?
Okay, I think I understand what the image you're talking about. Yeah, it's a part of that Batman story. It's a sort of a cover I did for the first part of the story.
So how long ago did you write it?
6 months ago, I
Oh, so
think.
it's really new.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty
Have you
recent.
have you sent it off to anybody so that they can see how amazing it is and then they should make it?
Nope.
Come on.
It's pretty hard to find, I try to get the contact of, some editors or stuff like that, but someone told me that they're not happy if you send the unsolicited stuff.
And yeah,
So
you gotta
I
follow the rules.
I
Go to the
respect that.
website and see what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
I've heard that over
exactly.
and over again. But yeah, it's hard when you have like a story to tell in your heart that you really want to get out there. You
Yeah,
can't tell the right
yeah.
person.
But I'm happy to told it and just okay to publish it on Instagram. It went well, so okay.
Hmm. And then I see that you did a Turbo Kid cover
Yep,
for the Behemoth guys. Those guys are awesome.
yep. They're so cool. Yeah, I did it. I think last summer. Yep,
Is there
it it
any
was cool.
companies out there that you would really love to work with that you haven't got to yet?
Image probably Dark Horse and then stop. I think I want to to tell my story, so I don't have any plans to or a huge desire to work for Marvel, DC, and stuff like that. If there's a chance, okay, but I don't want to follow that way.
So do you what was your do you remember what your very first comic was or your favorite comic?
My very first one, it was a manga, if memory serves. It was Samurai Champloo. It's the name of the comic.
Oh,
But my favorite comic is Blatta by Alberto Ponticelli. I
ooh,
don't know if it's
what
published
is the
by
spell the main title?
Blatta.
Oh, Blata. Okay, the way it sounds.
Yep.
What is it about?
It's a post-apocalyptic story. There's one entity. I don't know if it's a human or not. He just lives his life without anyone around him because there's no one around him. But one day he encountered this lady, and then stuff happened. It's a really cool graphic novel. I really love it. I don't know if it's published in the United States.
Well, we can still hunt it down. We're connected peoples now. We just type it in the Googles, right?
Yeah,
There you go. JD, our producer, has already found it in Goodreads, so people can go find one.
yeah, yeah. It's a really cool book.
Well, that's awesome. We put up your Instagram and some other. You've got your Etsy shop set up. Is there any places in particular that people should follow you to have the best up-to-date information about what you're working on?
Instagram, I think it's my favorite social. I think, yeah. I'm planning to do a website. I hope to launch it, probably in the next month. I hope.
Perfect. Are
Because
you planning on going to any conventions and making appearances this year?
I live in Italy, so I think unfortunately I have to stay here for a while. I think with all this COVID stuff. So
Yeah, I didn't know if you maybe sometimes go to Thought Bubble or not.
what? Sorry?
I didn't know if you occasionally maybe made the trek to Thought Bubble, which is one that's based
No,
out of the UK.
no, I have to stay here until I die, probably. No,
I
I
hope
was
not.
joking.
Hopefully, you get to travel some and get to
I
rock
hope.
with your
I
fans.
can wait. I can wait.
But at
I
least you
was
get a lot
trying
of stuff done.
to plan a little trip with with the guys with Black Caravan and doing some signing session and stuff like that. We're trying. We'll see.
Yeah, I think that would be wonderful. Whenever it becomes safe, I know that you have
Yeah.
a lot of fans that once all of these come out, they'll be needing your autograph on them, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then you're gonna have to like make your autograph with pizza or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. A little sketch.
Well, thank you so much, Marco, for
Thank you
staying
so
up
much
late
to
for
you.
us. I'm
Thank you so
so
much to you.
thankful.
I'm sorry for my English, but I don't have a lot of chance to
You
speak
need,
it.
you need to give yourself a pat on the back because it was amazing. You should
Thanks.
not be
Thank you
worried
so much.
ever again.
Thank you.
Now you're at expert level.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Marco.
Thank you so much.
For everybody that's out there, don't go anywhere. We've got another interview coming up next with David Booher. And we'll be right back after this word from our sponsors.
They say it, and it's true, that everything is getting faster. You're not getting any younger, and time is the single resource that you can never get back or get any more of. So why walk into your local comic shop blind when you can go in laser focused on the best books on the shelf?
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Minute to Skim It. Yeah!
Spend 1 hour with Miss Jen and Bean, and they'll give you rapid-fire reviews of all the new comics hitting stores. Spend less time shopping and more time reading.
This is Provenance of Secrets.
This is The Heathens. I read Wolverine number 17.
Minute to Skim It, every Tuesday at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back. Thank you guys so much for making Marco feel so welcome and feel very comfortable. A little bit nervous about his appearance, but he shouldn't have been. It's amazing. And do remember that this is a totally interactive interview process, or we want you to put in all your questions so that I can have them asked and you can have them all answered and you can know all the things. I just only can think of what I want to know. So if you like watching interviews where I get to ask all my questions, then awesome. But I'd much rather have you guys get to know what you want to know. Coming up next is my friend David Booher. So excited.
Hi! It's so good to see you.
Booher. I was like, yes!
Yeah, it's so good to see you. It's been such a fun weekend. I was down in San Diego for RocketCon this past weekend. And, coming back, trying to get into things. Writing wasn't going great today. And then I get the message, you want to talk to Jen? I was like, heck yeah. Close all my windows. Just be like, okay, my day's done.
Oh, so what was San Diego beautiful like it always is?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little on the chilly side, but the afternoon is always gorgeous. And, being inside at the con, you just try to get outside a little bit, see a little sunshine. They look a little paler. It's because I've, been inside for 2 days, but it was a great convention.
We're all pale. What are you talking about?
I know.
Everyone's been inside for 2 years.
I was going to say, what am I saying? 2 days, 2 years. Been inside for 2 years.
Yeah, it's hard to tell with me with red hair. No one knows, but
Right.
I'm always pale. My freckles might touch each other every once in a while if I get a lot of sun.
Oh, suddenly you're very tan. No, it's just one giant freckle, people.
Just one giant freckle on my whole body.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. So is RocketCon a newer convention or has it been going on a long time?
I think it was going on a few years prior to the pandemic. And I remember that we were rolling into RocketCon in, I want to say March of 2020. And I looked back at my emails. I'm like, is it still going on? And they're like, yeah, it's great. We're still scheduled. And then the next email I got, the governor said we're not allowed to have any conventions. So we'll reschedule to August of 2020. And I just look back now and I'm just like, oh, if only.
I was setting up at a convention. I think we like to call it the last convention on Earth because it was just a little hotel con, but the whole time that we're loading in, we're like, are we doing the right thing? And then it was just mostly, not a lot of people came because everyone was like freaked out because no one knew what was going on. And so it was mostly a bunch of dealers buying and trading with each other.
Oh, nice. That's probably the fondest pre-COVID memory, right? Just hanging out with all your buddies the last time we could.
It's so true because, we don't get to see each other very much. And if it's busy at a con, we don't get to talk to each other. So it's quiet.
You really miss it when you get back into the midst of it. I did New York Comic-Con, and then I was at LA Comic-Con in the fall when we had the kind of reprieve for a bit.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's so many things about conventions that you just don't realize are there until you get back into it and you're like, I forget what it's like to become table buddies. I was sitting next to Ben Templesmith for 2 days.
Oh, you lucky dog. I saw the picture. He's
cool people. So I got to be buddies with him and I just thought, I admire him so much as a creator, and then to have the opportunity for 2 days to find out that we're all human beings, you forget that. And he was so nice and so generous and so awesome that I just thought, when else would I have the time over 2 days to like bond with a creator like Ben? So just those sorts of things. I'm glad to be getting in. I felt very safe there. So I think people are still doing things safely, which makes me happy.
I think people are coming out more with less worry, I think, is what I see at public gatherings now, that people are just so thankful to get back to kind of the things that they loved, especially for conventions. There's so much to love about them, right?
Yeah.
To talk about your favorite things with your favorite folks that you don't normally get to see unless you want to travel everywhere.
And then just sitting there and overhearing those nerd conversations. That's what I love. It's like atmospheric for me. Just walking by somebody, walking by a oh my God, Optimus Prime cosplayer, and then a little bit later you overhear somebody talking about Pokemon, and then a little bit later you hear two dudes arguing about whether Venom or Carnage are better. And it's just like, where are you gonna get that? Where are you gonna get that anywhere but at a convention?
It's true. And then I kind of also feel that even though everyone's standing around arguing, essentially, that no one's mad about the arguing that we're doing. We're excited about it, right? Because we know the other person's going to let us have our say also.
I mean, I don't see that kind of passion with normies most of the time. Like, I love that. I love that. I mean, obviously don't punch somebody over it, but I love that passion. Like, there's definitely a toxic angle to, many fandoms out there, but if you're just passionate and that's where you want to be. And I love that. I love that so much. It's that energy that, none of it, after 2 years of being at home, we're all like, whoa, what's energy? I don't know what that is.
You just need to learn that it's okay for someone to be passionately in love with the thing that's the opposite of the thing you are passionately in love with. And it's not a bad thing. It's okay.
How dare you? I saw this meme or this screenshot that I just absolutely adored. I think it was the New York Times crossword puzzle. Did you see this?
No.
The clue was the best sci-fi franchise. And it was 8 letters, and you could say Star Wars, or you could say Star Trek.
And both worked?
In the 4 vertical clues for Wars and Trek worked as an answer to each of those 4 clues. And I'll give you an example. The one I remember is the clue was to let out in a way. And the answer was either least, Leased, if it was Star Wars, or leaked, Leaked, if it was Star Trek. And all 4 of the clues fit. So it didn't matter which one you guessed as Star Wars or Star Trek, you were correct. That it was the best fandom.
How long did it take them to figure out how to do this? I
don't know, but the screenshot on Twitter had like 100,000 likes or something. I'm like, sure. If I could like this 100,000 times, I personally would do that. I just thought, how clever and cool.
Okay, so how many minutes into the convention did it take it before someone walked up to your booth and bawled their eyes out while telling you how much they loved Rain?
I was worried. Like, oh my God. It was very, very cool, Jen, I have to say. Kanto was a little bit like it when it came out in 2019, but to have people the second issue came out on this past Wednesday, so last week, and to have people come up to my table specifically to pick up either a variant cover of 1 or pick up issue 2 and talk about that they liked it, it's just cool. It was just so cool to me because you toil so much on your own. And even when you release a book, oftentimes you'll go to a convention, and you'll have a book out there and you got to pitch the book like 50 times to everybody who comes through because nobody has heard of it yet. And, I like to think when I pitch the stories, people, dig it and they buy a copy. But it's that idea that there's stuff on my table now that people come up and I don't necessarily have to pitch it because they're familiar with that. And Rain was awesome. The feedback was really great. And that first issue seemed to do really well. I apologize to everybody who read it and we just ripped your hearts out, but that's just like, if I can make you feel something when you read a comic, then I've accomplished what I set out to accomplish, and whether that's, you know, happiness, laughing, you know, fear, anxiety for the characters, or sadness, I feel like I've done my job.
Yeah, for me, like after I read the book, I was like, well, I don't know what part Joe Hill had in the writing of this book, but I'm pretty sure I know who had the part in making me care so deeply about the main characters in like 3 pages that I was like gut-wrenchingly upset when the events happen. It's like, there's what?
It's sad. I mean, it was sad. I always had in adapting this stuff happens in the book, and in adapting it, I always knew that the first issue I wanted to end on where it ends, and you know, try not to spoil it. But I always thought that was a great end point. And I've even gotten feedback from folks on that first issue that like it's kind of almost a standalone story. It's like at the end when Honeysuckle says, "What now?" It's almost like could be anything, and doesn't necessarily need to. We don't need to necessarily see what the next part is. It just sort of leave it to the readers to think about it. Yeah, but so I love this story so much. I love Joe's story so much that I wanted to make it into a comic book, and so I pushed for it. And the reason I did was because of this relationship. Even though it's the romance between them. And I thought it's like Bird Box. I always compare it to Bird Box, A Quiet Place. Bird Box is about parenting, and it happens to be set during the apocalypse. Quiet Place is about what you do to survive, you know, when you lose somebody. And again, it's just the apocalypse is sort of, that's the circumstances. So this story for me is not an apocalyptic story that features a romance between these 2 women. It's a love story that happens to be set during the apocalypse. And I think that's the key to unlocking this whole thing.
It is. It's such a great read. I know I've been saying that it's like a gut-wrenching thing, but I mean, there's something about reading comic books that gives you so much emotional release. Like you don't realize you need just a great cry about people that aren't real, but feel real, because you need to have an emotional outlet. And so even though, yes, I know that I'm going into a book, like when I go into a book with you, I know that I'm going to care very deeply about the characters. It's like with Jeff Lemire, I know no matter what I do, he's going to make me cry in the book. So it's just the way it goes. But I go in knowing that I need it. Because otherwise, you just have a bunch of books where it's all about an action, right? It's about getting to the next fight as a superhero, or getting to the next town as an adventure. This is different. This is about learning about the human condition, and that we still care deeply about each other, even if each other aren't real people. We know that those real people exist. They're just
and it's a trick to everybody has suffered some sort of loss one way or the other. Even if you haven't lost somebody who's close to you, I mean, we're all dealing with PTSD and loss, you know, of the last 2 years. And to get people when they're reading like Rain, you care about the characters, but they're still characters in a comic book, characters in a story. So you know your logical brain knows that they're not real. But if you can evoke somebody's own emotions for something that they've gone through, and so if I can get readers to sort of put themselves in Honeysuckle's shoes as the things happen, it's like suddenly you're thinking about when you lost something and your grief and sort of how you moved on. Issue 3 is coming out in March, and I personally think it contains my best 2 pages of comics that I've ever done. And I'll tell you why. And I've been dying to share this story because it's put such an exclamation point on why we on how we as writers like take our own experiences, whether we want to or not, and it goes right on the page. So we raised great My husband and I have greyhounds. We've had greyhounds for 20 years.
Know that?
Oh yeah, they're retired racers.
After you're done, I need pictures.
I know. I'll send you pictures. So we've had greyhounds for a long, long time, and in May of last year, we lost one of our greyhounds very suddenly at the vet under anesthesia, and it was so sudden that we didn't have a chance to. It's not even we pet owners make those choices a lot, like end of life choices. But this was a very sudden loss for us, and it was right in the midst of me writing that issue 3, and I had to push forward because I had a deadline, and I just found that I was channeling my working through that onto the page, and I think the last 2 pages of that issue just turned out to be, every time I read them, I get emotional because I remember that process of writing that. So I'm excited that everybody has really enjoyed issues 1 and 2. I'm really excited to see issue 3 out there because I really think it's going to be more emotion. It's raw emotion, but I hope it continues on with what we've done so far.
Make sure to keep my hanky with me when I read for review.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, if the last 2 pages are going to, if I didn't rip all of your heart out in issue 1, I'm going to finish. It's
acceptable. I go into the battle knowing full well what I'm accepting.
Oh, good. I was just reading the comments. So, yeah, Gail Simone has greyhounds too.
Oh, I didn't know that either. Why did I not know this?
Yeah.
I know that she identifies as a bear. That's all I know. I love that part about her. Have you gotten to read Bolero?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. If you, it has another one of those beats in the book where it'll help if you need a good cry.
Oh, God. I mean, it's so rough to even write these books about loss and grief and all those things. It's just, woof. That's why I enjoyed Canto, because there's a layer of hope that percolates among that entire story, and so it always gives me a little lift whenever I write it, and I can write that little character just going up against the odds.
Oh yeah. So are you happy with Killer Queens, where it ended up?
Yeah, I love it. I'm really hoping to have some fun additional information to share publicly, but right now we're a little early on in the process. But yeah, things are good. I just had a educator come to my table yesterday, who she's part of an organization that helps out LGBTQ kids in schools, and sort of how to handle all those things, and how to approach those issues. And we had a great conversation about Killer Queens, and some of the older kids sort of seeing themselves in a story like that. So it really has kind of achieved everything I had hoped. I don't know if you saw, it got nominated for a GLAAD Media Award.
Yes.
Which was
super
dope.
awesome. Man. Were
It
you
got
expecting
nominated.
it?
What's that?
Were you expecting it all? Did you?
No,
I don't even know what the
God,
timing
no.
is. I don't know what the timing is, the cutoff, or any of those kinds of things. I don't know how you know.
I don't know how they got it. I don't know if Dark Horse sent it over to them. So we were all very surprised about it. And then it got nominated for a gaming award in the UK. It's GAYMING. And I'm just like, it makes me so happy. I love the book, and I love these characters, and I think it's such a fun adventure, and the representation is really important. And to see other people responding to that sort of validates what we did. So yeah, and it's also fun to work on because you got Rain and you got Kanto, all this heavy stuff, and then Killer Queens are punches and punchlines.
Oh my gosh. I love spaceship crew banter.
Hijinks, right?
Yes.
Yes, they are dynamite. I'm looking at the comments. Yes, they are dynamite with a laser beam. A laser beam. A lazy beam. A laser beam. Yes.
Oh my goodness. So what's up next? Do you have a gap between projects? Do you get to relax at all? What?
You know about Firefly coming out on Wednesday.
Oh, I do know about Firefly coming out. I don't know what I thought you were pointing at.
That's my Firefly, like my Firefly research / fandom.
All right, who's
Shelf.
your character? Who's the one you enjoy writing the most?
Kaylee's great because in this continuity, she's captain now.
Ooh.
I love Mal. He's so good. It's so fun to go back and watch the show and then read the comics and everything and see his. He's got the best. He's got the best lines. He's got the best dialogue. So, so that's been really. Quotable. Yeah, it's been. They all have great dialogue, right? So it's been such a fun thing to jump in and, you know, I know these characters so well, and just, you know, there's 9 of them. And to be able to break them off into 2s, 3s, have interactions and conflicts, and channel their personalities and their dialogue and sort of their perspectives on things into these conversations, it's so fun. It's like, it feels to me like I'm writing a new episode of the show. Might you be though? Oh my God, wouldn't that be amazing if they brought it back?
I've heard rumors.
Well, geez. I think if it were to come out now for the first time, I think that it would have like 15 seasons and just be beloved. I mean, setting aside other things, but just as a story and as characters, people would love this show. So I think it was a little ahead of its time, and I hope that we have given it a good. We've done it justice, I hope, because I love where the story is going to go. It's fun.
Is it meant to be a closed loop, your storyline, or is it? Are they going to let it go ongoing as long as it has juice?
I don't know if I'm allowed even to this, but I'm going to. So I've got 11 issues, so 10 issues and a oversized, like double issue to sort of wrap it. And I think the way that they've done the ongoing is like 12, like 3 volumes per story arc. So that's my sort of, I have that, the 3 volumes. And then we'll see what happens. I mean, the first one comes out this week. So it's going to be like December before my last issue comes out. So we haven't even had conversations about what it might go, what might happen. But I will say, if this is the end and December ends it, I personally will be very happy with how things wrap. Yeah.
Well, I hope that even if it's not this storyline, that they say, you know what, we'll let you go on another round. Where do you want to go from here?
I would love to do it. It's such a challenge to do a 12. I've never done a 12 issue arc. Kanto is great because it was like 6 issues, and I had ideas for all the future story arcs, but it's like 6 issue chunks, so you kind of can like, it's manageable. And doing these 11 issues as like one long story arc, it's been a lot of fun to write it because there's been a lot of surprises that have come up for myself. But it was way more challenging than I thought it would be.
Okay, so to get to do this project, was it something that you said, I have an idea, and you talk to Boom? Or did Boom say, we have an idea, we know who's the right person to write it, and approach you?
Jen, I just at this point go just bang down people's office doors and just waltz in and say, don't you know who I am?
Like, oh my gosh.
Never get hired again. They're like, who is
but
this
only
guy?
I think you'll still get hired as long as you giggle like you're giggling now.
Like, don't you know who I am? They're like, no.
Not really.
No, we don't.
Are you my Uber driver?
Yeah. Are you here with lunch? Are you Uber Eats? I can be. So back in September, I did this. Here it is, Firefly: The River Run one shot,
Mm,
which told like a standalone, oversized story about how Simon got River out of the academy, off of Osiris, and onto Persephone, which is where Firefly, the show, starts. So it was such a great fun to do that, and I had they reached out with the opportunity to do that because I had expressed to my editor at Boom, who I know, I was like, if you get Firefly, I'm just like, if you go to anybody else, we riot. So she reached out for that, and we had such a great experience writing, putting that together. And I wrote the script, and it fit really well, and I think it was what they were looking for. So, and at the same time, Greg Pak was going to wrap up on issue 36 of the ongoing Firefly series. So it just so happened that they were looking at sort of relaunching Firefly, and Greg was going to move on to some other things. And I was there with my writing sample in the Firefly universe, and they came back and like, want to do more? And they said, we want to do more. And I say, sign me up. And they had we had a very very high level idea of where we wanted this to go, and from that I sort of spun out the whole story. So it's fun. The Firefly crew finds themselves on a uncharted planet, which is a unknown smuggler's planet where a lot of the unsavory types go to sort of avoid the Alliance. And they get there because they go there because they're low on supplies, they're low on fuel, and they think, oh, this is a place where the Alliance it doesn't have a presence. So, and I'm sure they've got plenty of supplies, so we can do our thing and we can go leave. But when they get there, they find out that everything that they've heard about this uncharted planet is basically incorrect. And they're thrust into an adventure that is going to show you why we love the crew of Serenity.
Oh, I can't wait to read tomorrow. I have to wait for the boxes.
It's fun.
Wait for the boxes. I'm so excited.
It's my love letter. It's my love letter to the series. So
for everybody that's watching and is thinking about, man, I hope that's going to go into my pull boxes. I'm already on Firefly. Surely they'll know. I would say don't risk it because it is called, the new Firefly. So if you just told them, hey, make sure the new Firefly goes on my box, they might not understand that it is actually literally called the new Firefly and not just that you're asking for the new Firefly. So don't mess that up. You don't want to miss out on issue number 1, especially not with supply chain the way it is right now.
I know, because we may, if there's I would love it if there was a second printing, but also, I'm not allowed to say this publicly, but I'm going to say it anyway. Rain is issue 1 is gone, so what's on the shelves is what's available, and I don't think we're going to get a second print from Image. So, so if pick it up where you can have it, where you can find it, and put it on your pull list so that you can get future issues. And I promise you, by issue, you're gonna love you'll enjoy the ride, but where we end up, I think you're really going to love it. You're gonna love it.
Oh, that's perfect. All right, we're run out of time. You want to tell everybody where to follow you on the socials?
Sure. I'm on Twitter at David Booher. I'm on Twitter way too much at David Booher. I'm on Instagram where I post too many selfies at David M Booher. I'm on Facebook if that's your jam. You can my website needs to be updated, but it's davidbooher.com. And I'm very accessible. So reach out, follow me, enjoy all of my hijinks, I guess. Right?
We're down for sign us up for all the hijinks. We love them. Thank you so much, David. I'm so excited about tomorrow and for Rain number 3 so that I can get my crying out because I need it.
I apologize in advance.
I'll just send you a DM in the middle of the night.
How dare you?
I'm gonna send you a really sad meme.
Oh my God, and you're gonna think about that dog story that I told you, and you're just gonna be like, oh my God, is
Yep.
he okay?
We'll do it.
Is he okay? I'm okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We're always glad to have you. We'll have you on again when the next project comes out, because I know you'll have another amazing thing you're not even allowed to talk about come out.
More Canto's coming, so I'll come back on and hype that.
I'm excited. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us on here on Talking Shop. Stay tuned for more exciting programming coming up on The Experience. Bye, y'all.